Hey, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello from Montana. So glad to be on this morning. And bear with me here. I'm going to be going live on two platforms. So, hey, good morning. Good morning. We are from Montana going live, and we're talking about how you make money online. And so I'm hoping that people will come on in and engage and make some comments. Little backstory about myself. I'm in my mid 50s. My name's Elizabeth, and I have always worked in the corporate world and my whole life. That's all I've ever done. And I was getting all the things: exhausted, tired, frustrated. And then I had some key things happen in my life. Um, my husband had an unexpected open heart surgery, and that gave me pause in life. And I started thinking about my time and how I wanted to spend my time, what was important. And I quickly realized that it's not always about working for somebody else long hours, being like this, rising star wannabe in the corporate world. There are things so much more important. And so that was kind of the first thing. And then I started looking online for, how could I make money online and have more time flexibility? Because when he had open heart surgery, I definitely had to be around and be available and help out. And so I found somebody that I started following and I found very interesting. And I remember thinking to myself, if she can do it, then surely I can do it. Like, why not me? I've never ever done something like this. And so it was um it was nerve-wracking. But at the same time, I had enough spark, and I think enough, I was fed up enough, um, in my current situation, that I was like, I really want a change. I'm gonna try this. Just try it, because I think the biggest thing you can ask yourself is, do you want to be in the same place 3 months from now or 6 months from now? Or if you're feeling like, you need extra income, whether or not it's your job, or you've had some, like for me, my husband having open heart surgery and me wanting more time. So that was one of my things. The other thing is my husband's 8 years older than me. And that is not a big age difference. My opinion, 8 years is nothing. Some people think that's like, oh my word, you married a grandpa. 8 years to me is absolutely nothing. Um, and it's never been a thing until the open heart surgery happened. And then, because he's 8 years older than me, he retires in 2 years. Well, I got to thinking, the first time I started thinking about our age difference was, well, I don't really want to have to work 8 years after he retires. And I hadn't really thought about that before. I want to be able to be retired with him so that we can do life and that stage of life together. But I also needed a way to continue to bring in money. And so those were things that I started thinking about, because I'm 10 years out from retirement. And I just always thought, I'm going to stay at my job, and that's what I'm going to do until the couple little events happen. So I started looking online. Like I said, I found a gal that I started following, and it was very interesting. She was talking about a program that she was in that gave her income streams. It's basically a business in a box. It is a program that there's 5 different ways that you can be involved, 5 different levels, I guess, that you can buy. Um, and for someone like me who has never done social media before, I mean, that was, I've never done social media, and I honestly never thought that I would. But when I started to realize how many people were out there making money online doing their own thing, I seriously was like, Why not me? Why not me? Why shouldn't I give this a try?" You know, the this particular program, the lowest cost is $100. So for $100, somebody could have their own online business with a website and a digital product to sell. Because I mean, let's face it, if you're going to make money online, you're selling something. You're selling, you know, a digital or a physical product. You've got something that somebody else wants. And I didn't have any of that. You know, I didn't have a website. I was not tech savvy. I mean, I can be on a computer at work all day, but that's not the same as having your own business and your own business website where you're like set up to take payments. I'm not a tech person. And even the thought of looking into that was like at the bottom of my list. I'm just not, that's not how I roll. But this program was so beginner friendly that if I could do it, and it's basically the website comes with it, and you're doing a few connections and a few personalizing, you know, putting my name in. So if I could do it, I felt like, holy smokes, anyone out there can do it. And especially Gen X and baby boomers. You know, don't miss out on an opportunity, you know, because I feel like so many people like us are going into retirement and we're feeling like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit more. Or it'd be nice if I could retire at 62 instead of 65, you know, because I can't draw Social Security till I'm 65. So, I mean, I could take it early, but you take it early, that's a whole topic in and of itself. We won't go down that road. But it it is a in the day and age that we live in, there is such an opportunity for people to be able to make additional income online. So to me, it was like the perfect answer. I'm getting ready to go into retirement and I want to be able to have some additional income. Seriously, with this program, you work 2 hours a day. And I know that sounds like, oh, could that be true? Yes, it is. And it basically walks you through what you do. And those, it's so beginner friendly tutorial. Here's what you do. And it's just amazing. To me, it was amazing to see, gosh, there are people that are actually making money with this. And you know, the program, so I talked about, you know, there's 5 different levels for getting into it. The low cost barrier entry level is $100. So basically for $100, you get into this program and you have support, training, you're part of a community, you have a digital product that you can sell, and you've got automations. So you've got your website and automations. See, that's the key too about when I say you work 2 hours a day, that is because you have a system that works, your back end is working in the background. So you're posting content. Some people go live, some people don't. I'm kind of new at it, so I'm giving this a go. Um, so you basically post content talking about your digital products. And if someone's interested, you know, they're going to reach out to you and they plug into your automations. And that's why that's going on in the background. So I am not worried about sitting down in front of a computer or having to be on my phone, you know, 6, 8 hours a day. You know, this is something that, whoops, let me get out of that. Sorry about that. This is something that runs 24/7. So it's global business. So when I'm sleeping, you know, people over in England are seeing information and they have the option to go into my automations to get all the details on the program. I mean, it's so slick. So there is a $100, a $300, $600, $900, and $1,400 program. And I love that it is such a wide range. So it's available to so many different people based on what you can afford. And if you want to get your foot in, and it's beginner friendly. So if you're just starting out and you're like, yeah, I'm a nervous Nelly, I don't know that I want to, commit, then go with the entry level cost to hop into it and check it out yourself. But for me, for going into retirement and wanting to have a game plan, it makes complete sense. And it's a great program. You learn so much. It's unbelievable. And so my background is HR, and I cannot tell you how many times I have employees come in and sit down, and it ranges. It ranges. You've got people that are sick of the company and they're sick of their job, and they've applied for promotion after promotion and they're just not getting it. They're just not getting it. And when you're in HR, you have to be, of course, diplomatic about those things. And now that I can say to them, you're not getting the promotion because they just flat out don't like you. They're going to tell you that a million other people are qualified. Even if you think you're the most qualified person, you're not getting it because of your personality, because whatever department you're trying to get promoted into, they don't like you. They don't like your personality. They don't think you'd be a good member of the team. So those people are coming in to the HR office, and they are obviously upset and angry and discouraged, and you're trying to encourage them, and because you want to retain the employee. That's the goal. It's like you want happy employees and you want to retain them because it's expensive to have to onboard and train up new folks. There are so many people. That's one example. Someone who isn't getting a promotion. Another would be that was super common is for young mothers to come in and they want to be with their babies. And yes, hopefully people have PTO saved up. And there's the FMLA Act if your company is 50 plus employees. There's but that's non-paid leave for 12 weeks. So people are coming in and they're like, I want to move to Canada where I have more personal, maternity leave to take off to be with my baby or to raise up my kids after I have the baby. And it's a thing. I get it. It's tough. And sometimes that's just life. And so you can choose to be miserable and stay where you're at, or you can look into something else. So whatever the situation is, when you're looking at your job, and I love speaking to people that are in their 50s and older because that's me. And, we have a lot of same experiences. By the way, I want to throw out there, if you go to my profile or my description, you're going to see my domain. Go there to get information on the program that I'm in. I highly recommend it. It is only information, but it's your first step. You don't get spammed. You can unsubscribe. You can just check it out and decide for yourself. I do videos on both TikTok and on YouTube, so you can go there and also get more information. But I definitely go to profile or description and check out my domain, because blessed is where you can get the information. That's step number one. And how easy is that, you guys? If you are looking for something different or something to supplement to bring in additional income, then I want to encourage you to take a really easy step, not asking for money. It's literally to get the details and to get the information. So I want to encourage you to do that. And it would be interesting to hear what your story is, why you're at where you're at. I know it's super common for folks to be short for retirement. That's a huge, huge concern with expenses. And, my personal story is um, my husband having open heart surgery unexpectedly. And changing my perspective on my own priorities. And it went from wanting to work, work, work and be like this superstar at the office where I was working for somebody else. I'm getting paid, I'm getting my benefits, but I'm not building anything for myself. I'm trading my time for dollars. And I really started realizing I need a little bit more time to do things that are important to me. Um, and I feel like too in the Generation X and baby boomers, you've got um, folks that we're dealing with aging parents, and you need time. You need time to be able to take off to help them out. It doesn't necessarily have to be your husband who's having heart issues. It can be your parents. The other thing that's super common um, that I would hear from employees while I was in HR was their grown kids are having to move back in, or they're not even able to leave because it's so expensive. And they're getting a job, they're getting two jobs, and they can't afford rent, even just rent. Not talking about buying a house. Of course that depends where you live, but so then it's a strain on them. Our age group, our demographic, having those grown kids where you're thinking, okay, kids are going to be out of the house. I am, working, and I'm now focusing on me. I'm now focusing on my retirement and what are things going to look like, for me, because I'm doing. And then it doesn't pan out because that's just life, right? I mean, that's just life. So I want to encourage people to be bold, to take some action, look into something. I personally love the program that I am in. I have learned so much. In fact, I love this, you know, for somebody that wanted to learn about digital marketing and what's involved and how it all comes together, the back end. It's amazing knowledge just to learn. So if you were looking, at oh, I have my own business, I have a storefront, or and I've got these new products and I don't know how to market them. I don't know how to do social media. I don't know. Something like this is amazing for you. It literally will give you so many ideas and um, knowledge to promote your own product, you know. But there are people like me who I didn't have a product, and I now I'm in the process of doing other things myself. But when I first started, this was perfect for me because it gave me the digital products, which is that's what it is. It's digital products. And so I didn't have to go out and create anything. I didn't have to wonder about what kind of a website, what kind of a back end is there, how, emailing and payment gateways. I didn't have to do any of that. It was so beginner friendly, step by step. If anyone out there is like me and this is resonating, then kudos. Take action, check out my profile, go to my description, and get information. Because blessed is my domain, and it's information only. You're not paying for anything. It's free. It's a blueprint. That's where you start. It's like if you are scrolling on your phone or you're scrolling on your TV and you're looking at all these different videos and you're like, huh, yeah, all these people are doing it. You're seeing, and you sit back and you're like, yeah, that would be interesting. Boy, wouldn't that be cool? I'm here to tell you Take action. You can do this. You can do this, people. Start with the information and then decide from there. What if it could change your life? Change how you're living, help you out. I mean, that would be absolutely amazing. Whether that is to help out and bless other people in your life, or if you need it yourself. The program, I talked earlier about the 5 different income streams. Well, there's 5 different products: 100, 300, 600, 900, 1400. And full disclosure, I have the $1,400 one, and I have 10 income streams off of that. 5 of them are in English and 5 of them are in Spanish. It's a global business. So you think if you can afford $1,400 and there are payment plans, you make one sale. Let's say you make one sale a month. That's setting a low bar. But let's say you're like, I'm realistic. I'm going to do one sale a month. That's $1,400 in your pocket. It's 100% profit to you. There is no upline, no downline. There's no affiliate, no commission. It is 100% profit to you. $1,400, I mean, that covers most people's mortgage. Pretty close, if not all, depending on what kind of interest rate you have. If your interest rate is low from a few years back, you're like, yeah, that totally covers my mortgage. I mean, and that's one sale, one customer a month. Now you get out a calculator and you start doing a little math on, in fact, let's just for kicks, I'm going to get out my little calculator on my computer here. And let's just say, let's say you had one customer a week. One a week. That is $5,600 in a month. It's all based on, folks, you individually and how you work, how hard you work. I think it's wrong to make income claims because I think, you see different videos about people making all this money. And yes, I think that is possible. Absolutely. But I feel like for the average person, I don't know how realistic that is. I mean, maybe I'm being, a bit of a skeptic there, but some of those income claims are pretty crazy. I like to look at it rather from the standpoint of yourself and what do you think you can do? I mean, if you literally think you could do one customer a month, posting content online, and the program teaches you how to do that, earning 100% profit, and that made you $1,400 a month. To me, that's pretty easy. To me, that's, and again, I say easy. It's all based on yourself and how you work. And the other thing that I love, so that's the most expensive. People can get into this program for $100 and you can upgrade later. So if you are just curious, about what do I get, what do I learn, having your own website, having your automations set up in the back, you have one digital product to sell for the $100. That's a start. You sell one product, you sell a couple of products, and then you decide you want to upgrade later. I feel like this is so, the barrier to entry is so low. And if you're one of those people who's scrolling and you're like, wow, I would love to make some extra money. Wow, look at these people doing it. And you're like, why not me? That's where I was. I want to encourage you, go to my profile pic, check out my description, and go to my domain, Because Blessed, get the information and see if it's something. The information, goes into deep detail. It's going to give you all the skinny, which I'm not going to go into because that's just, it's so much great information. I just want to encourage you on this live that if you are one of those people who is looking for extra for whatever the reason, but you're looking for extra. For me, it was definitely that looking at retirement, looking at my husband who is older and will be retired 8 years before me, and realizing, heck, I want to be spending time with him in retirement. How can I make this happen? How can I make income where I can do something on my own and only have to put in 2 hours a day? But, if we're like, hey, let's go to Arizona, because we're up in Montana and it's cold in the wintertime. We want to go to Arizona. I can still be making income. I can still be bringing in money, which I need to, by the way. I need to keep bringing in income. And this is such a phenomenal way to have an opportunity to do that, to have an opportunity to create something that is solely mine, my own business. And I just want to encourage you to get the information and think on it. Follow me, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Come join me when I do a live, but I also put out other content, short content, long content. You don't want to be in the same place, right? 3 months from now or 6 months from now. You don't want to look back and say, dang it, if I had done this then, where would I be at now? It's never too late to start. We're in April. We're in April, folks. Summer's coming. You can have your platform, your online presence set up in a day or two, which is crazy, right? It's crazy that I did it on my own, and I am not a tech person whatsoever. And I'm kind of proud, to be honest. I'm kind of proud that I've got, my own website, my own business name, and I'm learning so much, which I love. The fact that I now have social media presence was crazy. TikTok, I'm going to say, I am one of those people who, when TikTok first, kickstarted, I was like, I'm not ever going to be on TikTok. I'm not going to do videos because I thought it was all about posting dancing videos or people just talking about, how amazing their lives are and all these pictures of whatever. And I wasn't into it. I had no idea a lot about TikTok, to be fair. I didn't really know about TikTok Shop. I didn't know about going live. I didn't know how much it was used in business. And so, shame on me, but I do now. And I am embracing it, and I'm encouraging folks who are like me, mid-50s, 60s, so Gen X, baby boomers. Man, this is something that is exciting and fresh, and it's a way to earn additional income. Come on, right? Who wouldn't want to do that? And the other thing that's kind of fun, it's also you learn about building your own brand. And so, everybody loves additional money, right? Let's just say, you were that person who's like, yeah, I don't need additional money. I'd like to meet you, but what it does for opening your eyes to new things, so growth, personal growth, and the idea of a personal brand and the idea of how you interact online with people, the value that you can bring. Because the other thing that I love is that, those of us, Gen X and baby boomers, we've lived life, right? We're old. We're getting old. And we've learned a lot. So we have a lot to say. We have a lot of actual real life experience. And so when you look at having an online presence and what you could actually bring to the table, in terms of starting a community or impacting, giving to other people, when you look at your purpose in life, there's It's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, maybe you want to learn about UGC. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to have a community and that becomes your baby that you grow, and you can have a free community or you can charge. Um, you can do workshops. I learned that all through the program that I'm in. And it has been absolutely mind-blowingly eye-opening. And it's been a different way for me to see the world. I've got my dad is he's in his late 70s. I think, Dad, you're probably going to see this. So he just got a smartphone. He's had a flip phone before, and it's been so fun. So he's been coming, he bought it direct from Apple, had it shipped. And so my husband and I have been helping him. How do you answer the iPhone? I mean, right? It's a thing. When you don't have a smartphone and you've held on to what works for you, it's been so interesting for him to have all these aha moments of technology. And I think he needs to have his own channel. And so we've been talking about that. And whether it be, TikTok, whether it be YouTube, probably, YouTube, because I feel like older, definitely some older generation there. He could do amazing. I mean, that is a guy who can make money out of nothing. He is so amazing about buying things. He'll buy something, he'll turn around and he'll sell it and he'll make a profit. It is absolutely crazy. And I told him, I said, Dad, if you just started making some videos about your process and what you do, you could have a huge following, because he's definitely baby boomer. And yeah. So I go down a rabbit trail. But this all came from the program that I'm in. And what I personally have learned and how I am talking to my parents about it, and now my dad has a smartphone, an Apple phone, which is absolutely crazy. And I think it's safe to say he probably never would have done that. He was just fine with his little flip phone. He couldn't even text on it. Seriously. In fact, when the phone came in the mail and he had to call Consumer Cellular is who he has his phone service through. And when you're switching, he's keeping his phone number. So when you're switching from one phone to the other, the consumer wanted to send him a text. Well, he doesn't text. And then they're like, well, how about an email? Well, he's on a little flip phone. He's at my house. He's like, well, I can't get an email because unlike smartphones where you can minimize screens and do all these other million things while you're taking a phone call, he couldn't do that. So it just is so funny. It's like, yeah. Bless his heart. Bless your heart, Dad. But I'm proud of you for stepping into, modern technology and having your first smartphone. And we'll see. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you a social media platform one of these days. You just wait. So anyway, it can be fun. This program has truly opened up so much for me personally. Everything that I've learned and how it's affected my life personally, my relationships, other people, and you start to feel a little bit like a hope dealer. Like you've got something that you're offering, and you really just hope that people will consider it and get information. Whether or not you choose to jump in, totally up to you. Totally up to you. But there's definitely no harm in looking. So again, I always like to mention you can head up to my profile. You can go down in my description below and you'll see my my domain there, and that's where you can go to get specific information on the program. And it's really good, detailed information that will probably answer a lot of your questions, but you can always reach back out to me if you have more questions. Yeah. So I think I'm going to take off. I'm happy. It's Monday. I just want to encourage you, don't stay where you're at today. If you want to make a change, then take action and do something. Get information to make decisions. Start small on something. I mean, look at me. I am 10 years from retirement. I'm 2 years from my husband retiring because he's older than me. And I'm now looking for what can I do to have a little additional income so that I can do things different when he retires. I can have my own online business where if we're going to go head down to Arizona for the winter time because we're up in Montana and it is cold up here, then we can do that because I now have a global business that I only need my cell phone or a computer and internet service. And again, I have to say, folks, why would you not want that? Right? I mean, why would you not want to have that kind of flexibility in your life? The ability to make additional income on your time, on your terms, fitting it in around your life. I mean, if you are on a lunch break, if you're on a 15-minute break in the morning, you fit this in right now into your life. You start it now so that when you do get to the point of retiring, you've got it. And heck, if you are already retired and you're feeling like, dang it, I do need additional income, because we all know that this life we're living is expensive. And everything, you've got the war in Iran and you've got gas prices and inflation, mortgage rates. It's all a real thing. And so don't be afraid to do something a little different, especially when you know that you're going to be stepping into a program that is so supportive and fresh. I do have to just say, too, the program I'm in has been around since 2022. So it is proven. It has a great track record. It's successful. It's got staying power. It's not it's not something that you're wondering, is this going to be around? It has a founder who is so dedicated. I mean, I could go on and on about that, but I will tell you it is fresh. So since I've been in the program, she's always adding, if something new comes out, she is adding it to the program itself. UGC, user generated content. She's got training in there on UGC. So if you want to supplement, it's about many things, but stacking income is one of the things that I've learned. And there's so many different ways that you can stack income online. Even if you're not selling one of the 5 or all 5 of the programs that come with this, the income streams, the digital products that come with this program, there's so many other ways, whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's communities, whether it's UGC. I mean, there's so many other ways to learn about, understand, and grow to make money online. So again, I just encourage you, don't shy away. Don't be in the same place that you are today. 3 months from now, get the information. You can go to my profile. You can go to my description, and because blessed is my domain. So check it out. If you have further questions, we can email back and forth. But I just want to send you positive energy today, encouragement. Do something for yourself to make a difference in your life. And then once you start doing that, you turn around and you start making a difference in other people's lives. And you see how happy that can really make you. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and log out. I'm streaming on 2 platforms, and so I'm going to hit this one first and say goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day. So I am stopping